The Young and the Restless spoilers recorded that Theo Vanderway threw a ball at the Billy Abbott he liked. Johnson's eccentric character, who didn't even realize it, gave an image that Billy recognized. Lily Winters calls the pitch a ball. She didn't like Theo lying to them about why he left Abbott. Billy, who told Lily he didn't trust Theo and noted that he also shared that rating with his nephew, Kyle Abbott, was in his late 80s. Suddenly Bill's okay with Theo? Jill Abbott hired Lily to let her make a check for Billy. Walton's character also believes Lily's business experience makes her the perfect choice to co-lead Chancellor Industries' new communications division. Without a doubt, Theo was very resilient. The way he lived his life, the result of his father's death a few years ago, left Theo struggling to survive. Instead of trying to build relationships, which is actually quite ironic considering that Theo is an influencer on social media, Johnson's character tells people what he thinks they want to hear. How? As part of advertising yourself. Relationship is key in every step of life. When it comes to business, trust matters. According to Creative Ethical Practice, treat it as your essential signature. Jill Abbott hired Lily to let her make a check for Billy. Walton's character also believes Lily's business experience makes her the perfect choice to co-lead Chancellor Industries' new communications division. However, Jill does not predict a second version of Billy will appear in the months after Chancecom's launch. At first Billy didn't know why he liked the guy. It was the ego he was talking about because Theo's personality was comparable to Thompson's. At the society, Abby discovered Jack, and they briefed Victoria's press conference. Abby believes Victoria is returning to Victor. Jack agrees, but he says that Victoria seems agitated to take responsibility and make a statement. At that moment, Jack received a message from Tracy. He smiled and asked Abby to come home with him. When Jack and Abby went to Abbott's, Tracy said that she had found the movie, and she had prepared everything for them to watch. Jack asks them to see it in front of Dina to see why it is important to her. Dina comes home from the hospital after Jack was born. Jack was deeply moved, and Tracy just smiled. After Dina watched the movie at home, Jack entered the living room, and Abby asked Dina how. Jack says she is resting. Tracy commented on Dina's connection to the film. Jack agrees, but he is disappointed that Dina closes the door as soon as it ends. He said that he was very touched watching the movie. Tracy says John is very proud, but she wondered why Dina wanted to see it. Jack tells Tracy that Dina doesn't want them to watch movies but to hear John's wise words, that love and family really matter, and Dina wants to make sure they all remember it. Nikki goes back to the ranch and asks Victor about his trip. He said he felt better, but it didn't change anything. He said betrayal is still betrayal. He asks where Nikki is. She told Victor that she went to see Victoria, who offered her the COO of Newman, and she accepted. Victor congratulates Nikki and says she's going to be a great COO. He sees it as good news, since Nikki works with Victoria, he will always know what's going on. Nikki says he won't because she has no intention of becoming his eyes and ears. She said she would do her job, but she wouldn't be on either side. Victor says it will come time for her to choose a side. Adam comes home and tells Chelsea he has great expectations, but he still doesn't remember anything about the event. Chelsea understands he's disappointed, but he needs time. She suggested that maybe he shouldn't get treatment. Adam is adamant that he will focus and continue the training sessions because he wants to know the whole ugly truth. The Young and the Restless were married, divorced, separated or their marriage was declared void for one reason or another. But being aware of what will upset their next semi-romance car is simply adding a community to receive twice the agita for Victor. Nikki wasn't the only one when Victoria asked her mother to be the second in command at the family company. In fact, Nikki doubts the real estate division she leads, and honestly, who knows that is still the case, will be the next item to be auctioned off during her daughter's out-of-sale sale. Wisely, Nikki thought it over before accepting the offer, knowing that her husband Victor would see this not as an attitude of encouragement but when his avenged daughter used love of your life to fight him. Chance and Abby go to the park, and they discuss Victoria's big announcement. Abby tells him she doesn't want to get caught up in what's going on between Victoria, Victor, and Adam. She says she will talk to Jack and find out what's going on because she doesn't want to originate and poke the bear. Chance says he's interested in Adam. Abby says that Adam changed after he got back from Vegas and the chaos followed him wherever he went. Chance disagrees and says he didn't buy that the man he befriended in Vegas no longer existed. He says that Adam supported him and that Adam saved his life. He doesn't believe those traits have disappeared because of circumstances. Abby says that Chance and Adam's experience brought them together as friends. She says that Chance is an expert at meeting people, and she understands why he wants to contact Adam. She respected that. She laughed and said that she and Chance are in a good relationship, and she has no intention of ruining that. Adam went to Sharon's house, and he asked her how she felt. Sharon thanked him for asking and said she was fine. They sat down and Sharon said they would just start with a conversation. She starts off with an overview of the situation. She said that at 11 years old, Adam had a problem that he doesn't remember. Sharon asked Adam what time of the year it was. Adam replied that it is spring. She asked him what he remembered about the spring farm. Adam describes it as his favorite time of the year because it is a time of rebirth, when things begin to bloom. He said that crocus was the first flower to bloom and Hope fell in love with tulips for their velvet petals. Sharon asked Adam to describe a typical day at the farm. He says he feeds the animals and throws hay, and they have chickens and he collects eggs. He said that even then, he already knew that he wanted a different life from farming. Sharon asked him how to get to school. Adam said he walked a long way to the bus stop alone. He said the timing was different, and he was safe. He says school is easy, he likes his teachers and he loves sports, however, he always counted the minutes until he could quit school and go with his friends. Adam told Sharon that when he got home from school, Hope would come as soon as the door closed behind him. She will make him a snack and ask about his date. He said he did his homework while Hope prepared dinner for them. Hope has liked the habit. Sharon asked if they were breaking the habit the day AJ passed away. Adam says everything is fine. He can't recall anything about AJ's death, but he's really sad for Alyssa, AJ's daughter, since her father passed away. Alyssa has quit school, but he never misses school for a day. Adam told Sharon that Hope had baked a cake and she sent it to Montalvo's house on AJ's funeral day. He remembers sitting at the kitchen table and smelling the cake. He recalled thinking that Hope was great to do that. He never knew that something was wrong. Slightly agitated, Adam stood up and asked how he could. He killed a man. There must be something to open the door to his memory. Sharon assured him that would happen when his mind was ready. Adam announced he was ready. Adam told Sharon that, at home, there was nothing unusual about AJ's death. Adam felt he did something wrong, and he asked Sharon if they could use anything to help him remember. Sharon guarantees that will happen. Sharon told Adam they had done enough. Adam apologizes for taxing her. Sharon told him they will have another session soon. Adam said that he was more grateful for Sharon's help than he could ever say, and left. After a while, Ray arrived home and was delighted to see Sharon soundly asleep on the sofa. Nikki goes to Newman's office and advises Victoria not to sell her real estate parts. Victoria said she has no intention of selling it, but she wants to discuss her vision with Newman with Nikki. She tells Nikki that she needs a COO, someone who can get into that role right away, and one who doesn't need training. She suggested Nikki step into the COO role. Victoria says Nikki will have a much louder voice. Nikki asks if Victor would like to speak louder, but Victoria says it's not his concern. Billy wanted to prove to the people in his circles that he had completed the task Jill had given him. He has also passed less than a year of mental breakdown and is looking to prove to himself that he retains his business expertise. Enthusiastic fans know that Billy's creative morality is often valued by him. So instead of taking the risk on his own, he could use Theo as his screen whenever he got dirty work. A real-life romance story between the case of Sharon and the co-stars of The Young and Restless and Mark Grossman. We anticipate that it will lead to a reunion for his character who has made a match. Double kiss. Formerly Sharon and Adam. It also doesn't lose any imagination, it just makes sense. A rematch with Newman earlier would help keep their role safe from engaging in intimate scenes, something very few soap actors are currently able to do. On-screen and off-screen friends like Bryton James and Brittany Sarpy, who play Devon and Elena, are the exception to that rule. And for the time being, a pair that can be marked without removing it is the rarest. Opportunity 2 for Sharon and Adam will also be unquestionable. Not only do they have history, a complicated, sometimes terrifying history, they also have chemistry. In other words, there's a business between them that isn't over yet. Now, it looks like The Young and the Restless are doing exactly what we imagined the show would do, and positioning the former members for another promenade. Adam turned to Sharon for psychological help, which could easily turn into a sexual cure. Even his baby Chelsea seemed to see the writing on the wall. The second surprise of Nikki's day came when she told Victor about her new position. Though she had clearly prepared for her outburst of passion, without a doubt, expecting a lecture to declare her actions a grave disgrace. Instead, Victor seemed, well, if he wasn't interested in his wife, then he would be vaguely supportive. But that, of course, was because he assumed she would become his spy. The third surprise of the day was not Nikki's but Victor's, as she made it clear that she had no interest and no intention of engaging in domestic espionage. As viewers already know, Newman recently discussed a compelling story with Billy, something he didn't know regarding another element of Adam Newman's gloomy past. May request accordingly treat the telegrams of plot points as a project.